Okay. Can you see the split screen or just one screen?
I can see the split screen rule. I can see
Oh,
that.
Krishna.
Mm.
I don't want that. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the class live, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Yeah, the class live, Prabhu. Yeah, in the chat.
you can see it now?
No, but I can't see anything else. I can see the only screen, the verse.
You can see the verse.
Yes.
Very good. Sorry. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyam Trinadandasya Kinanjana Shalakaya Chakshudamnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vatati Svaha Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Rijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Vanchaka Patrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavandayaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnayo Krishna Chaitanya Ego Vishwe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostate Takanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanustate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. My pranams to all the simple devotees on this call and those who will listen on Zoom later. Now, on YouTube now or later. My sincerest pranams to you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Prabhu. It's clear, Prabhu. But your video is frozen. Yeah, maybe because of.
Video is frozen. Is it still frozen?
Yes, Prabhu. At least that's what I see.
But can you see the screen? And is it
Yes, yes.
scrolling
Yeah.
up and down?
Yes, Prabhu. That's clear. That sounds clear, Prabhu.
Okay, then that's fine. I pray with these prayers at the lotus feet, Hari Guru and the Vaishnavas, that somehow they will empower me to speak something that will enliven our hearts with attachment for the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna, the goal of our life. To relish these things is my great fortune to serve by speaking on this Srimad Bhagavatam class 11439, though I am not qualified, I speak not so well, but the Lord can empower by the mercy of Guru and the Vaishnavas anyone to do anything. So if I speak something nicely, it is by the mercy Hari Guru and the Vaishnavas. And if I speak something that is not so nice, you know that is my natural fallen state, not a reflection of our Gaudiya Acharyas or the philosophy, which is perfect and complete in all ways. So we will, I'll chant this verse a few times, or at least attempt, and others can as well. As I've said in the past, I can't see who's on, so when I'm sharing the screen somehow or other, I don't know how to fix that, but we'll carry on the best we can. Kachchitte namayam tata vrashta teja vibhasi me alabda mano yagyata kimva tad jiroshtitaha kachchitte namayam tata vrashta teja vibhasi me alabda mano yagyata kimva tata jiroshitaha kachchitte namayam tata rasta teja vibhasi me alabda mano yagyata kimva tata jiroshitaha. Any devotees, please chant this verse if you so desire.
Kacchitte namayam tata bhrashtateja vibhasi me alabdhamano vajnataha kimbatata chiroshita.
Next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Connect. Kashite namayan tata brashtateja vibhasi me alabdha manovadrintaha kimva tata sirosthitaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Kaschitte anamayam tata brishtateja vibhasi me alabdhamano avagnata kimva tata chiroshita. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Kashchitte namayam tata brashta teja vibhasi me alabdha mano vagyataha kimva tata chiroshitaha. Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Prachite anamayam tata prashta teja vibhashi me labdha mano bhajata kimva tata chirosita. Thank you.
Anybody else? Kachchit, whether, te, your. Excuse me. Ananya, my health is all right. Tata, my dear brother. Brishta, bereft. Teja, luster. Vipasi, appear, may, to me. Labda, mana. Labda mana, without respect. Vigyata, neglect. Kim, whether. Va, or. Tata, my dear brother. Chiroshtaha, Chiroshitaha, because of long residence. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. My dear brother Arjuna, please tell me whether your health is all right. You appear to have lost your bodily luster. Is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you because of your long stay in Dwarka? Purport. From all angles of vision, the Maharaj inquired from Arjuna about the welfare of Dwarka, but he concluded at last that as long as Lord Sri Krishna himself was there, nothing inauspicious could happen. But at the same time, Arjuna appeared to be bereft of his bodily luster, unless the king inquired of his personal welfare and asked so many vital questions. I remember correctly, this is the first verse in which Yudhishthira Maharaj is addressing Arjuna about his personal welfare. So this chapter opens right with so much inauspiciousness being seen around Yudhishthira Maharaj. He's explaining to Bhima, his brother, about the inauspiciousness he's seeing. And then as he's coming to the point of bringing up Arjuna and being gone for so long, Arjuna appears and he begins to ask Arjuna about the different welfare of the residents of Dwarka. And now he's asking about Arjuna. How are you feeling? You look not so well. Is this because of disrespect or neglect or something? So a few things I thought about in this verse that popped out at me was this term luster, the words disrespecting and neglecting. And then in Srila Prabhupada's purport, he talks about nothing inauspicious could happen when Lord Krishna is around. So if I can articulate my heart and thoughts, I will try to speak a few things on these. Krishna is in our lives. All things are auspicious. Doesn't mean, I think someone in one of our recent Bhagavatam classes, I think it was last week, was talking about how just because we surrender to Krishna doesn't mean that we don't suffer some things in this world, because the natural position in this world is suffering. But when we have Krishna in our lives, we can hear, chant, remember, in the association of devotees, his name, form, qualities, and pastimes. And there's really no suffering because we're always in contact with Krishna. Whether we're remembering his transcendental pastimes, or his name, or his form, or his qualities. When we're with the devotees, they remind us of these things. This is the essence of our life. This is the goal of our existence, to relish these things in love and attachment. And Rupa Goswami, he gives us this one very beautiful verse in Nectar of Instruction. Talks about these things. It's not Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pitopatya Rasanayasana Ruchikanu Kintva Adarad Anudhinam Kalo Saidva Drushta Swadvi Kramad Bhavit Tad Gadmura Hantri. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya cannot taste anything sweet, avidya being ignorance. It is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So this is beautiful, right? That simply by hearing and chanting these wonderful things of Krishna, which are transcendentally sweet, we relish them. But because of ignorance, we cannot taste them. We cannot taste it. It's very bitter. Someone who has jaundice, it tastes very bitter. But there's two things he says that one must do, right? We do these things, then the natural relish of this sweet taste of Krishna Nam, Guna, Rupa, Lila manifests within the heart. And what are the two things? Someone point them out. If you're not engaged in other seva, please unmute and say one of them.
Adharatan Anudinam.
Adara. What does adara mean?
Translation here is carefully.
Yeah. What else? What else does it mean?
With respect.
Respect.
Respect. Yeah, to respect. So, and then what's the other thing? Somebody else, please.
So, Anudinam, daily.
Yeah. Daily, every day, regularly, right? So with respect, we regularly chant here these relishable names, forms, qualities, or pastimes. He doesn't say forms here, but other places, Srila Prabhupada pointed out very specifically that these transcendental things, name, form, qualities, and pastimes are all non-different because Krishna is absolute. They're all absolute. And by being in contact with any one of them, become purified and we can taste transcendental bliss. So the disease is gradually destroyed. It's another point, gradually. It doesn't happen all at once, but gradually by doing these things, we will taste the natural relish of the sweetness of Krishna's transcendental qualities, names, and forms. So when we speak of adara carefully, or sometimes we hear chant from the heart. Chant from the heart. What does it mean to chant from the heart? One place I heard one devotee says, that when we chant from the heart, when we chant from the heart, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my son. When we chant from the heart, it's to know what our intention is. We can just chant, and it can, very mechanically, that our goal of chanting is to finish our prescribed number of rounds. This is just chanting. We just chant, and it's good. We should chant our prescribed number of rounds, especially when we take a vow. This is good. But when we chant to connect with Krishna, to serve Krishna, right? Srila Prabhupada said that when we chant, we should have this prayer. O Srimati Radharani, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. What service do we want to do? There's another, sorry, I don't want to go there yet. So Krishna, engage me in your service. So Krishna, just like the train of thought has just gone. Sorry, Prabhus. It's amazing. I find sometimes Krishna is so wonderfully give the intelligence to speak things. And then at other times he withdraws and such things. And then I find, you have no words. Krishna, right? He says in Bhagavad Gita, I provide what you have and I carry what you lack. So I lack so many things. And I find sometimes by his causeless mercy, we can't even remember such wonderful things that we contemplate often. But when he wants to show our, he can show us how insignificant we are. If we ever think how wonderful we are, we're such good at this or that, Krishna expertly smashes the false ego. This is my experience. Every time I try to give class, he smashes me. I'm very grateful. I lose my train of thought so easily. So I pray that for all of your benefits, he will help me to speak something nicely. Again, I beg his lotus feet because I don't want to waste any of your time by stumbling over my own mind's distraction. So Ararat, chanting with respect. So he appears in the heart. It's not what I meant to say. He also appears in the heart when when the heart is purified by constant hearing and chanting. But we have to get there somehow first. We have to purify the heart by Adarat and continuously chanting. So when we chant from the heart, this chanting of the heart, non-mechanical chanting, we are conscious of who we are speaking to. I was just remembering, was thinking that when we chant, right, there's the 10 offenses, right? This is also an aspect of carefully or chanting with respect, that we don't commit the offenses, the 10 offenses of the holy name. And this particular right, verse that we're speaking on, it's very interesting that Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying to Arjuna that you've lost your bodily luster? Is it due to others disrespecting or neglecting you? So when we're chanting Krishna's name, we're calling out Krishna, 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 but yet the mind is engaged in thinking of various other topics that have no connection with Krishna. This is called neglect or disrespect. It's like I say, hey Prabhu, or hey Mataji, and I ask you a question, and you start answering me, and I'm looking at my phone or watching YouTube or, looking everywhere else but at you think, or I invite you to my home and I do these things. It's very disrespectful. Why would I want to come again? Why would I want to reciprocate with you? Right? Why would you want to reciprocate with me if I'm doing these things when we're trying to connect, have a connection? So I was just thinking how important attentiveness is in our day-to-day chanting and remembering. I thought to read through I know we all know these 10 offenses, but Srila Prabhupada in the Nectar of Devotion here lists them out. What's happening there? To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Lord Vishnu. One who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he chants Kali Kali or Durga Durga, it is the same as Hare Krishna. This is the greatest offense. 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or in literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities in the strength of the holy name of the Lord. It should not be taken that because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions, but may continue to act sinfully, and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sin. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the name. Anyone can take part in the chanting of the holy name, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are not too sinful cannot appreciate. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Srila Prabhupada concludes every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must regard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. And what is the desired success? We hear there's one other place where it says Krishna Prema, right? So this chanting, hearing, remembering, we're studying Srimad Bhagavatam, we're engaging in the association of devotees, is this process of sadhana bhakti. Rupa Goswami says that it's using the senses to engage in some devotional service, which brings about rati, or bhava, is known as sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti, the goal of sadhana bhakti is to bring about rati, which is the first rays of the sun of prema, as explained by our acharyas. So our goal is prema bhakti. So as we're chanting, very carefully, guarding against these, we keep in sight our goal of prema bhakti. It's not artha, kam, dham, moksha, but it is pure, unadulterated love for Krishna. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Harinam Chintamani, he also explains how inattentiveness, although not specifically an offense against the holy name, but it is in some ways the root of all offense. By inattentively chanting, we are not chanting with respect, and due to disrespectful chanting, the tendency may awaken to engage or the tendency to engage in or to commit one of these 10 offenses becomes more I don't want to use the word likely, more our, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word. It's not coming to me. Our chances become higher of committing one of these offenses. There's 2 offenses that, as explained, are extremely dangerous. The 7th offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the holy name. It's like the holy name is so merciful. Krishna descends within the material world in the form of this holy name, investing all of his transcendental potencies in the name. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nidashadava Shaktish. And then the sadhaka chants the holy name and thinking they have a way of committing sinful activities. And then you hear in Shastra that by one time chanting the name of Vishnu, all sins are eradicated. So now I have a what do they call it? Like a loophole. I have a loophole. I can chant the holy name and I can engage in whatever activities I want. This isn't chanting respectfully. And thus the rays of prema will not arise very quickly. We'll have to rectify our bad habits, as Srila Prabhupada says in one purport, that we have to rectify our bad habits. We cannot engage in the sinful activities sometime and think that by chanting we're safe. It's explained that if we engage in some sinful activity due to our previous conditionings of this material body, mind, then the holy name purifies that. Because the devotee repents, they don't engage in some sinful activity and say, "This is I'm okay." They repent. They beg Krishna, "I've engaged in such nonsense. Please purify this heart so I can serve you purely. Please engage me in your service." Like this, devotees beg Krishna for the affection of the guru and the pure devotees have. And the second offense, and the second one is the first, the blasphemy of the devotees. I've seen where some Gaudiya sadhus will explain that even to blaspheme and criticize any living entity is not favorable for a Vaishnava. Because when one gets in the mood of seeing the faults in others, it's just a matter of time that we begin seeing the faults in the devotees. And then we're finished. So Lord Chaitanya, I meant to look up this verse and read through the purport to share any nectar nuggets that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur may have given, but I didn't have time. So devotees who wish to further look into this, in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Chaitanya has explained that Lord Chaitanya said, "Chant Hare Krishna and don't criticize others. If you do these two things, I will deliver you. All perfection will be available to you." Something like that. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's explained that this offense is known as the mad elephant offense, which anyone seeing a mad elephant can see that they destroy everything in their path. So Lord Chaitanya says that we should be good gardeners and protect this creep of bhakti, this bhakti lata that the guru has given, that the sadhu has given, and water it very carefully by hearing and chanting. Again, carefully. So we see that this careful, attentive, heartfelt engagement in the process of devotional service is most needed. So the devotee, he gives all respect to others because Krishna is in the heart of every living entity. He sees Krishna everywhere. And if we don't see Krishna everywhere, we can begin to cultivate this understanding by recognizing Krishna in the heart of everyone as Paramatma and giving respect to everyone based on that. And as we cultivate more and more this mood of respect, the more it becomes a natural, and the more that we chant sincerely, the more the transcendental qualities begin to manifest by the power of the holy name. So it's explained that this chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, begins the name reveals the qualities, which reveals the pastimes, or reveals the form, which reveals the pastimes of the Lord. That one after another, And by meditating on the name, the qualities of Krishna, the form of Krishna, and the pastimes of Krishna begin to manifest in the mind and heart of the devotee. It is not an artificial thing that one must force, but naturally, by the power of the name, invested with all of Krishna's transcendental qualities, potencies, reveals. So, Banina Tvam Namanamino, Krishna is not different than his name. So, all that which is transcendental is also all the is also contained within Krishna's holy name. So Krishna's transcendental qualities are given by Srila Rupa Goswami. When we chant, we can remember these. Lord Chaitanya, he says, Kirtanya Sada Hari. But how does Kirtanya Sada Hari happen? How do we constantly chant? How is it that we constantly chant? He says, if one follows these few things, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sada Harihi, to be humble like a blade of grass, tolerant like a tree, ready to give all respect to others, expecting no respect for oneself. Then one can chant the holy name constantly. And by constant chanting, again, constant chanting is not just repeating the words, but to like a parrot, right? Srila Prabhupada said this oftentimes. We don't chant and repeat like a parrot, right? You can teach a parrot to chant Hare Krishna, right? But when in danger, the parrot just squawks, right? We don't want to squawk when we're in danger. We don't want to squawk while we're, right? We want to remember Krishna. So who is Krishna? We don't cultivate this understanding of who is this beautiful transcendental personality that we're chanting and trying to remember every day, every moment of our life. Is like bird, right? Like parrot chanting. So I thought to read through these transcendental qualities Rupa Goswami gives, so that we can begin to, so that we can remember these things. Hopefully, at least a few of them, through time to time. One, beautiful features of the entire body. 2, marked with auspicious characteristics. 3, extremely pleasing. 4, effulgent. This effulgent luster, this is one of the things I was thinking of, that Arjuna lost his luster, according to Yudhishthira Maharaj, because, as we will find out, that Krishna disappeared. It's disappearing, it left. And due to separation, Arjuna was feeling great sadness. But I was thinking of Krishna's luster of Krishna, as often, sometimes you see that he has the luster, right? Or let's begin from further away. Krishna, his transcendental effulgence, is known as the Brahmajyoti, which is his bodily rays, right? Nectar of instruction. I was remembering, not nectar of instruction, I was remembering the Isha Upanishad, where towards the end he says, whoever's writing or speaking or whatever, he says that please, let me see past that burning effulgence to see your personality, right? So I think Brahma Samhita explains that the bodily effulgence of Lord Krishna is that Brahmajyoti, that the impersonalists are desiring to see and to attain. So Krishna's body is so effulgent. And Srila Prabhupada would oftentimes say that the devotees, due to their clean habits and engaging in the mode of goodness and in that pure goodness, that their eyes and their face have this specific glow about them because of their engagement in the process of devotional service. So the devotees become effulgent. They get this luster as well. And that Krishna's transcendental body is like as the luster of a tamal tree or a monsoon rain cloud, or is like a beautiful shining sapphire gem, right? It's beautiful descriptions of Krishna's transcendental body. So this effulgence, 5 strong, 6 ever youthful, 7 wonderful linguistics. He knows all languages and he speaks very nicely. 8 truthful, 9 talks pleasingly, 10 affluent, 11 highly learned, 12 highly intelligent, 13 a genius, artistic, extremely clever, expert, grateful, firmly determined, an expert judge of time and circumstance, seeing and speaking on the authority of the Vedas or scriptures, pure, self-controlled, steadfast, forbearing, grateful, forbearing, forgiving, grave, self-satisfied, possessing equilibrium, magnanimous, religious, heroic, compassionate, respectful, gentle, liberal, shy, the protector of surrendered souls, happy, the well-wisher of devotees, controlled by love, all auspicious, most powerful, all famous, popular, partial to devotees, very attractive to all women, all worshipable, all opulent, all honorable, the supreme controller. So it's said that the demigods and the jivas can have some of these qualities, right? The individual living entity can also possess all of these qualities in minute quantities, but there's a few that they can't. Did I skip? Yeah, 50. These 50 qualities. And then these next ones, persons like Brahma or Shiva can have. Changeless, all cognizant, ever fresh, Satchidananda, possessing the eternal blissful, an all knowledgeable body, possessing all mystic perfections. So then these next 4, Krishna's expansions of Narayan and the other Vishnu Tattva forms can have. He has inconceivable potency, uncountable universes generate from his body. He is the original source of all incarnations. He is the giver of salvation to the enemies, who he kills. He is the attractor of liberated souls, like when the four Kumaras were attracted by the lotus feet, the tulsi, fragrance of the tulsi from the lotus feet, right? Then these last four qualities are the qualities in which Krishna himself, no one else can have. Only Krishna in Sri Golok Vrindavan can possess these four qualities. He is a performer of wonderful varieties of pastimes, especially his childhood pastimes. He is surrounded by devotees endowed with wonderful love of Godhead. He can attract all living entities all over the universe by playing on his flute. He has a wonderful excellence of beauty that cannot be rivaled anywhere in the creation. So then from here, Srila Rupa Goswami will give evidences from various shastra and elaborate on these. So those who are interested in diving deeper into the qualities can read this chapter of chapter 21 of the Nectar of Devotion. And we have the great fortune of having a translation of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in English. His Holiness Banu Maharaj, very, very nice seva is given. We can also read those and see the commentaries of Jiva Goswami and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. So these qualities, and we're getting close to the end, so I was thinking of one more thing to share, and that this beautiful bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur brings out a very interesting thing, which I was contemplating, where this second verse, Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa, these pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. So when we speak this name Krishna, we can think of many different aspects. I was hearing one class where it was explained that even in Vishnu Sahasranam, Krishna's name appears, Ram's name appears, just like in the Mahamantra, right? So we can understand Krishna from various different points of view, Rama from different points of view. And our Gaudiya Acharyas, they give us, the perspective of seeing Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. So when we speak Krishna, we can think of his all attractive nature, or we can think of his, dark complexion. But we can also think of Nandana, Yashoda Nandana. So Yashomati Nandana, right? That the beloved son of Mother Yashoda. When we chant Krishna's name, we can remember Mother Yashoda. Brajabara Nagara. He's also Brajabara Nagara. He's a transcendental lover of the land of Braj. So these different names of Krishna bring about various pastimes. So when we think of Nandana, Mother Yashoda, how does Mother Yashoda interact with Krishna? She's always eager to provide everything Krishna needs. That her quote unquote service to Krishna, she's not thinking of being a servant of Krishna. She's thinking of being Krishna's mother. That without me, my Lala will be hungry. So let me make some very nice preparations for my Lal, for my Kana, for my Krishna. So she wakes him up. He goes to the Goshala and milks cows, and she calls Rohini, begin cooking this. She sends a message to Yavad or Varsana, wherever Srimati Radharani is at. Srimati Radharani and all her Sakis come to Nandagram to begin cooking for Krishna with Rohini. And Mother Yashoda says, Govinda Lilamrita has a description of all of the different preparations that they make for Krishna. And Mother Yashoda tells Lalita to make one thing, Vishaka to make one thing, Tangyavida to make one thing, Chitta Devi, Sudevi, and the different Ashtasakis. And different servants are running to get this or that. So, and then Mother Yashoda goes and brings Krishna and makes sure he gets his bath. All these things, Krishna. So this one term, Yashomati Nandana, can be expanded into many hours of contemplation on various pastimes. So, and by these great personalities like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Rupa Raghunath, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they've expanded these transcendental pastimes. Or should I say they've expanded Krishna's names by revealing these transcendental pastimes so that we can enter into this Braj Leela that Lord Chaitanya came to give us. Such a fortunate, wonderful, merciful time for us to be here, that Krishna's transcendental name, Kali Kalaya Namarupa Krishna Avatar, is descended within this Kali Yuga. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, has invested these potencies, who's distributed these things to all of us. Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, is so merciful that they're to lift us from the muck of this miserable material existence by giving the opportunity to constantly remember with love and attachment the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes. I beg forgiveness for my my inability to speak nicely on these wonderful things, and I pray that somehow or other I've given some satisfaction to you all by speaking something. Please, if you have any questions or comments and corrections, please unmute and share such things, corrections for my benefit, or questions that maybe I didn't elaborate properly on. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripasindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Thank you for tolerating me.
Thank you, Bala, for speaking on this verse this morning and extending it to bringing the focus back to Lord Shri Krishna. So, do devotees have questions, reflections, appreciations? You should.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it is very wonderful, and you explained that the chanting of the heart, between the difference of chanting and simply chanting and with the full heart. It is a very benefit to the people, devotees. And you explained very well that Kali Mardana Krishna is protector, the all people with Kali, yet everything. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. I think you have been very modest, but you spoke a lot of good things and then very relatable things. At least one to my mind, right? What I could relate very much, which I've been struggling how to relate it, like chanting with attention, right? So the example you gave, it looks pretty simple, but I think it's very, at least for me, it was very impactful. Like, when you call somebody to your home or when you ask a question to the other person, and if the other person is trying to respond, you just look here and there, right? And then how respectful it would be for the other person, how they will reciprocate with you going forward, right? So I think, at least for me, it was very, very simple and very practical. So whenever I chant, now I can think of this. Yeah, look, if my attention goes away, so this is the example I need to remember. Thank you very much for giving that example.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for sticking through and tolerating me.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you
Prabhu,
for
Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful, beautiful class, Prabhu, and especially the last part where you mentioned about Yashomati Nandan, right? How that one word can be expanded. Now it can go so many different, so deep, basically, and is given by our Gaudiya Varga, Guru Varga, basically. Thank you so much for sharing that, Prabhu. Yeah, it opens a new dimension altogether. So,
yeah,
yeah,
not
thanks
only
so much for sharing, Prabhu.
Yashomati Nandan, but every
Yeah, absolutely.
everyone
There's one
is
word.
full of so many pastimes just erupt from a single name.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, Prabhu. Yeah, name is the basis, Kerry. Same name can reveal Rupa, Guna, and Lila. Everywhere. So, yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu, for sharing. Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
All right, Bhagavatam Prabhu. You can. Thank you for taking the time and the energy to contemplate on this section of Bhagavatam and explaining what drew you to, explaining particular aspects of the verse by connection to the other shastras. That's always very nice when one can kind of mind map into other, shastras to kind of connect the dots. It makes our understanding much more complete and actually more sweeter and tasteful. So thank you for always trying to do that.
Thank you
Yeah,
for appreciating all glories to
we
Guru
all, we,
Varga.
we all have conditioning and weaknesses.
Yeah.
The material body is evidence of that.
Yeah.
So all of us have that. So I think, you were kind of mentioning some of your so-called weaknesses, but it just makes us kind of, I think, not take things lightly in understanding the Shastra and approaching Bhagavan. So that is also means of respect to understand my disqualification, like Sri Rupa Goswami says, is understanding that is actually fundamental to gaining a qualification. So thank you very much. And thank you, dear devotees, for joining. See you all at Sunday Feast.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the
Thank you.
Very much.
In the call, Prabhu.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. See you all.
Hare Hare.